My complaints for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. I feel like it's almost impossible for a fan of the original Snake Eater to see the remake Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater and give it an objective review. Fans are going to be very biased one way or the other. This remake sucks and the original is superior in every way, or the remake just updates an original masterpiece and both games are great. I do not see many neutral reviews from OG fans online. It's either the extreme one way or the other. You either hate it or you love it. If you've seen my Delta review, it is obvious I am in the love it category. It's a faithful remake of my favorite video game of all time. Of course I love it. It's not a perfect video game, but it is the perfect remake Konami could have offered us, depending on the circumstances Konami has put themselves in. To briefly summarize, Konami no longer has the original creative director to oversee any future Metal Gear games, Hideo Kojima. A lot of Metal Gear fans and original purists consider the Metal Gear Solid games to be sacred texts, and under no circumstances do you change anything about Hideo Kojima's original vision. That would be utter blasphemy. Hell, over 20 years later, people are still complaining about the remake of Metal Gear Solid 1, released only on the GameCube, called Twin Snakes. Why? Well, because they changed it too much compared to the original, and that's blasphemy. So Konami has to somehow keep Delta as faithful as possible to the original 20-year-old Snake Eater and somehow update it for modern consoles and modern gameplay expectations. How do you do this? Well, keep everything exactly the same except update the movement, the shooting, and the graphics. Basically, everything else is untouched. Anyways, I love this remake Delta Snake Eater, but I still have some complaints. Yeah, that's right. I can be objective and critical, especially now that the honeymoon phase is over. After playing Delta Snake Eater for almost 2 months straight, yeah, I have some complaints. So let's get into it. Konami announced Delta would have 2 different gameplay modes, New Style and Legacy Style. Legacy Style emulates the original game more when it comes to movement and gameplay, while New Style offers a more modern experience emulating Metal Gear Solid 5's gameplay. I was hoping Konami and the development team would take some more creative freedoms with the New Style. They can keep Legacy Style as faithful as possible to the original while making more changes and more creative decisions in New Style. I really wanted the areas to be expanded upon. I wanted the areas to be bigger and different, offering more enemy patrols, offering more items to find, more traps to encounter, different paths to go down, and more animals to discover. Now let me be clear, I did not want an open world setting, but maybe something like, I don't know, Hitman or Sniper Elite. You see the big level presented to you, and you have multiple different routes and multiple different options to take advantage of on how you want to achieve one single goal. Still a single player, linear experience, but give me more options. As a die-hard OG fan, I love this game. Is so faithful, and I can find all the same items in the same areas. All the same animals are still slithering around and wandering around the same parts, and all the same locations are copy and paste, just with updated graphics. I love it, but after over a month of playing this game straight, I had this nagging voice in the back of my head saying, yeah, this is cool, but I've already been here 100 times before in the original. Sometimes I feel like not enough is changed for my personal tastes. Alright, now here's one I know a lot of people have very strong opinions on. $70 for a remake. I originally had the opinion this game is definitely worth the $70 price tag, but as time has gone on, I've realized this is a biased take. For me personally, yeah, of course a remake of my favorite video game of all time is worth $70. And I do think the game is updated and changed enough to be worth that price because it's a new game experience. But the more I think about it, yeah, Delta Snake Eater should have been $60. We can get into this a little bit more if you want. Resident Evil 4 Remake was $60 on release, and Resident Evil 4 is a very interesting case because they borrowed a lot of elements from the original, but they still took a lot of creative freedoms with the remake. It's familiar enough to OG fans, but still a new experience, and this is kind of what I wanted and expected from Delta Snake Eater, but whatever. Gears of War Reloaded was $40 on release, and on Game Pass it's even cheaper if you just buy Game Pass for a single month and to beat it in a month. So that's a really good deal. But then you look at a remake like Demon's Souls, which launched for $70. Now, I've never played the original Demon's Souls, but from what I've seen and heard online, the remake has been a very faithful retelling of the original game with very minor changes, just mostly updating the graphics. I did not hear a whole lot of people complaining when Demon's Souls was released back then. But maybe it's just because we were so desperate for any PS5 exclusives at the time, we would just be happy with anything. I don't know. Last of Us Part 1 remaster or remake, I don't know what it was $70 at launch, and boy did I hear and see a lot of complaining online. A lot of gamers were not happy with this decision. Personally, I waited for a holiday sale and got it around $50. It's a copy and paste of the original game, but updated with Last of Us Part 2 combat and movement. Dead Space Remake was $70, Zelda Link's Awakening was $60, Persona 3 Reloaded $70, Silent Hill 2 Remake $70, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black $50, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door $60, Mafia Definitive Edition $40. So yeah, I don't know, modern remake and remastered prices fluctuate, they're all over the place. I guess it's just up to the discretion of the developer what they think their game is worth. The standard modern video game these days is priced at $70. So developers are more than justified if they want to release their remake for $70, because that's the price of a game. But no matter how much we analyze video game prices, I still wish Delta Snake Eater was $60 at launch. I kind of feel like the $70 price tag might have scared off some newcomers or some new gamers who were interested. I don't know. Now, one of my biggest complaints I had about the game was the transition to different areas. It's a totally outdated concept at this point. Move to a different area with the screen going black and a loading screen transition. They could have made this transition a lot more modern with no screen going black or no loading screen necessary. Something like God of War maybe. They hid the loading screens behind a lot of different creative ideas, and that was a lot more modern. My other biggest complaint was the swimming mechanics. I don't know how, I don't know why, but the swimming mechanics are slower, clunkier, and just overall bad. I hate it. It makes the pain boss fight a whole lot more difficult. I have a very niche complaint, but it's about the cardboard box. The box is nerfed as an equipment item when it comes to gameplay utility. The box is at an awkward combination because it's a mix of the original Metal Gear Solid 3 box and a mix of the newer Metal Gear Solid 5 box. Something just feels off about it. It just doesn't feel like it fits or it belongs. It's just something weird. I don't know. Alright, now this one is obvious. The gameplay performance. Yeah, for $70, a video game remake in Unreal Engine 5 with a delayed launch date, the performance should have been better on PS5 and Xbox. I don't have a PC, so I don't know what the experience has been there, but overall, the experience should have been better. Overall, I would say the performance is acceptable. It's fine. My original expectations were 120 frames per second, but the game cannot get a consistent 60 frames per second on performance mode, and that is disappointing. Having inconsistent frame rates getting down to 50 or even 45 sometimes, yeah, I can't really defend it. All I can say is, it's acceptable.
Now let's talk about content. I'm grateful that Snake vs. Monkey is back after being stuck on the original PS2 version, meaning it was never included in any future editions like the HD version or the Master Collection. Snake vs. Monkey and even Snake vs. Bomberman is great content for a few hours. I mean, you can do speed runs and try to get the best times, but that's really the only replayability that's offered here. I really wish more side content was offered for a $70 price tag. And yes, I know we're receiving Fox Hunt, which acts as a multiplayer for Delta Snake Eater. This is really cool, but, you know, not everyone likes multiplayer games. I'm not a multiplayer guy. I don't play Fortnite or COD or Battlefield or whatever the kids play these days. I don't know. I'm not into that. I like my single player experiences. I mean, sure, I guess I'll purchase 1 month of PlayStation Online to try Fox Hunt, but I do not see this being a long-term piece of content I'll take part of. I really wish we got some content like a boss rush mode or a boss challenge mode. It's been a pretty long time, but I'm pretty sure the original PS2 version had a boss fight mode. Maybe now they could have included like a roguelike mode with the bosses, challenge all the boss fights in different orders with different items available to you or different weapons being offered. I think that would have been really cool.
And then I was really hoping they would give us a survival mode, kind of like Last of Us Part 2 or Resident Evil 4. They had a survival mode where you have to survive waves of enemies attacking you. Delta Snake Eater offers a more aggressive and modern combat style, so I would have loved to just let loose and kill endless waves of enemies as Big Boss. Or maybe they could have leaned into the more better stealth mechanics and just have Snake avoid and hide from enemy waves as they search for him. That would have been really cool too. I mean, it's always kind of bothered me that Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 1 had VR missions that acts as a gameplay challenge, but Metal Gear Solid 3 never had anything like that. And yeah, I know it's lore accurate, VR missions didn't exist in the Metal Gear Solid 3 timeline yet, but I don't care. I just wanted something, maybe something like a field ops or a training exercise for Naked Snake to take part in. Something, man, maybe he can go against the other Fox unit members. I don't know. More side content I wish we got was playing as Eva with DLC. We got to play as Ellie with DLC in Last of Us Part 1 and also Ada in Resident Evil 4. I have always really wanted to play as Eva as she's going through her mission infiltrating Volgan's ranks inside Groznygrad. I want to see her escaping when she has to go meet up with Snake and having to sneak past enemy patrols and like whatever she's doing behind the scenes. I wanted to see that and experience it for myself. And now that the secretive voice actress for Eva has officially been revealed, recording any new voice lines for the DLC wouldn't be that difficult. Speaking of which, the voice actress for Eva was hidden in the original game. It was something like Suzette Minier, I think. But it's actually the voice actress for Ariel in The Little Mermaid, and she's done a lot of other kid content and kid movies throughout the years. I think that's why she hid her name, because she didn't want to be associated with a mature game when her career is more focused on kid stuff. But why is Jodie Benson's cover name still used in the credits? Konami officially revealed Jodie as a voice actress, even if it was kept a secret for 20 years. Why isn't her real name used in the credits? I think it's weird it still says Suzette Minier. Konami themselves revealed this. She said, yep, it's me, I'm Eva, hello. I don't know, it just seems like an oversight. It feels weird. I really wish we got her real name in the credits. So yeah, there you go, you filthy animals. Those are my complaints. You want some negativity? There you go. Ugh, I don't like doing negative stuff, but you know, whatever. Yes, even Mr. Snake Eater Gaming himself can see Delta and have an objective complaint and a lot of personal complaints. I love Delta Snake Eater. I am more than satisfied of what it offers as a remake from the original. It has officially replaced the original game as the new Snake Eater I'm gonna play moving forward. Personally, I would score Delta Snake Eater a 9 out of 10, maybe a 9.5 out of 10 on a good day, but damn, I really wish I saw it as a perfect 10 out of 10, but oh well.
Gotcha! Yes!